The Oslo Diamond League Bislett Games is looking stacked. We have the best 5k runners in the world competing, and it has officially been announced that they will be chasing the world record. The 5k world record currently stands at a 12:35.36 by Uganda's Joshua Cheptegei, who also holds the 10k world record. It was broken in Monaco in 2020 with the introduction of pace lights and was an improvement over the historic world record of Kenenisa Bekele, who is widely considered one of, if not the greatest runner of all time. That record held for over 15 years before Cheptegei broke it, and now Cheptegei's mark is under threat by a world-class field. We have Ethiopia's all-stars, Ingebrigtsen, a former indoor mile world record holder, former half marathon world record holder. He has one of the best ranges of any athlete today and has the rare combination of a lethal kick and amazing strength. He has the 4th fastest 5k ever run and is the 7th fastest athlete of all time in the 10k. You have the veteran Ingebrigtsen, who missed the world record by only 1 second in last year's Bislett Games, a time that is still the 2nd fastest 5k in world history at 12:36. Then there is Beruhu Iragawi, the current world number 1 in the 5k and 10k. He is the 7th fastest 5k runner of all time, 8th fastest 10k runner, boasting a 12:40 and 26:31 PB in the respective events at only age 24. He is coming off a recent victory and meeting record in the Shanghai Diamond League, where he cruised to victory over a solid field. They will be rivaled by Kenya's Jakob and Nicholas Kipkorir, who have comparatively slow PBs of only 12:45 and 12:46 respectively. We have the world's best competing on a fast track in a race where the world record was almost broken 1 year ago. Needless to say, the 5k record is on its last legs. Now there is one name who was touted to be on that start list, of course, one Jakob Ingebrigtsen, Tokyo 1500 meter champ, Paris 5000 meter champ, and 2-time 5k world champ. Jakob was supposed to be spearheading this effort as part of his quest to break every world record in the distance running scene from 1500 to the marathon. He is closing in on the 1500 meter and mile record and obliterated the 3k world record last year in Silesia. This performance validated many's thoughts that Jakob is actually a better 3k and 5k runner than he is a 1500 meter runner. His PB is slower than all the other races at a 12:48, but that was set almost 4 years ago. He can undoubtedly lower that time pretty much whenever he wants. With his aggressive front running style, excellent fitness, a home crowd, and a strong field to push him on, he seemed the best candidate of everyone to beat the 12:35 mark. But as we know, he has been sidelined with an Achilles injury that will, in all likelihood, cause him to miss the Bislett Games. What concerns me as well is that this is the same Achilles issue that bugged him in the winter of last year and caused him to miss the World Indoor Championships. Luckily, he was able to make a full recovery and go on to have arguably his best season yet in 2024, but a recurring Achilles problem is worrying for the long-term health of the Norwegian. He has recently posted a video of him doing a 20-minute easy run on a zero-gravity treadmill. This can be programmed to take some of your body weight when running to reduce load on the injured areas while still getting the specific running movement in. And this makes it preferable to cross-training, which is a less specific movement to running, and is therefore likely to be a less effective training stimulus. Jakob reported that his ankle felt okay during this run at 70 to 80% of his body weight load on the treadmill. He followed this up recently with a 20-minute run on a normal treadmill, reporting good results. He has also been cross-training on the elliptical, which does stimulate the Achilles to a certain extent, so it seems the injury is not too serious. But as the man says himself, "Don't call it a comeback." I just hope this does not become a recurring problem for Ingebrigtsen, because for someone so young, he has been training hard for many years, and sometimes you see prodigies like him peak early in their careers and then get sidelined by injury or their body burning out after 15 years of hard training. So far, Jakob has bucked that trend and been able to build his fitness year on year, and hopefully he will continue to do so. It's too early to make assumptions about this, but let's just pray this is not an early sign of Jakob's body straining after years of intense work. His absence in the Diamond League does make me wonder if the world record will fall, because after the paces drop out, the Ethiopians may fall into a prisoner's dilemma of who takes the league. Ideally, we will see them alternate the pacing duties to help them increase their time. We saw them attempt this in the Paris Olympics 10,000 meter to try and outwork the rest of the field. This tactic was working until they began to tire, and Sedjati let himself become the sacrificial lamb as the de facto pacemaker. You can see him here looking around, wondering where his teammates are. A similar situation unfolded in last year's Bislett Games, where Ingebrigtsen sat behind a leading Sedjati until the last lap, where he kicked to victory. Now, every athlete has a right to do what they think will give them the best chance of victory. I just hope the desire to win does not overtake the desire for a world record, because otherwise we might see the pace slow after a strong first 3 kilometers. Telehun Bekele will also be competing. Whilst he is unlikely to win, he could help his Ethiopian compatriots by becoming the unofficial pacemaker once the official ones drop out. We saw Addison Yehun do this last year in Oslo, so hopefully that's a plan, but only time will tell. Moving on to the next world record under threat, the men's 800 meters. The current mark is of course a historic 140.91, set in the final of the London Olympics. And without getting too romantic here, this is the most beautiful display of front running I think I have ever seen. Rudisha just destroyed an elite field with his powerful stride, beating his own world record and dragging almost every single other racer to a personal best or even national record. His record was never seriously threatened until last year, where we suddenly saw a host of runners break 142 in the event. Now, some of you might consider me talking about this odd timing, considering the prime candidate to break Rudisha's record had a mixed performance in the Arop Diamond League. Kenya's Wanyonyi, the 20-year-old prodigy, Olympic champion, and joint second fastest 800 runner of all time, recently came third place in his second 800 race of the season. He was beaten by Britain's Max Bergen and Botswana's Sepiso Masalela. So what explains this somewhat unideal start? Well, I think it's two reasons. One is that Wanyonyi appears to be taking a much more strength-based approach early season, as he has been focusing on the 1500 meter. He has raced in and won the Kenyan Cross Championships, Adidas Road to Records Mile, and the Grand Slam track Kingston Slam. As athletes traditionally build their aerobic base in the winter and early season, this is very in keeping with a long-term approach that will pay dividends when he starts really sharpening over the next few months. So part of this is that I think he is simply periodizing his training in such a way where he may not be super sharp right now. Another thing is that I think Wanyonyi did not get his tactics right in the 800 meter, whereas the current world leader and a potential dark horse candidate for the World Championships in Tokyo, Masalela, got his tactics spot on. Right off the bat, Masalela and Bergen ran aggressively behind the pacemaker, as they often like to do. Wanyonyi took a more conservative approach, slotting into the back of the field. This has been done successfully by the likes of Arop, who won his world title and Olympic silver medal by staying out of trouble in the first lap and then moving up the field. But the issue here is that there was a large field of 13 runners competing that day. By staying at the back, Wanyonyi was avoiding traffic, but he had to run around a huge block of strong runners to make his move on the last lap. In the final 400, Wanyonyi ran the majority of both bends in lane 2, expending extra energy. We can also see Chemenengwa, the 142 Kenyan runner, doing the same thing. I think his plan was just to follow Wanyonyi and hope he drags him to a good time, but in this case he just ended up running the outside line and lacked the ability Wanyonyi has to make up for this extra distance. He made the same mistake in the Doha Diamond League 800, which is partly why I did not think he would do well in this race. And in the end he didn't. By contrast, Masalela and Bergen were able to run off the pacemaker and stay out of traffic by simply running more aggressively than everyone else. They got the same benefits as Wanyonyi, with the extra advantage of holding the lead and not having to run around this large field. Wanyonyi then had to fight Hangura on the back straight to cut in on the inside, and finds himself stuck on the outside again for the final bend. He's still able to close well, but he gave himself too much work and his results suffered because of it. Even in the last 100, he had to run in lane 3 to make his kick, whilst Masalela strided to victory to claim a 142.7 world lead and smashed the meeting record by almost a second. And he did not even look that tired at the end, taking his time to celebrate at the line just like he did in Doha. After claiming back-to-back wins and world leads in both a sit and kick and front-running style race, Masalela is looking like a serious threat in the 800 meter. He has also run a 3:30 1500 meter PB back in April, so his strength is definitely there. Whilst I don't want to get overexcited at this point in the season, he could be a real dark horse candidate in Tokyo. He has shown strong tactical abilities and is in excellent form. Could we maybe see him break 142 this year? If he is running this well in May with gas left in the tank, then it seems likely. With his middle distance portfolio, I would love to see him as a challenger in the GST LA Slam. Him versus Arop will be a great matchup in the 800, and I think he has a solid chance of even winning the 1500 given what happened last time in Kingston. Speaking of which, I do think Wanyonyi will come back stronger in his next 800. Although he got his tactics badly wrong, he still ran a 143.37. Lane 2 on the track is an extra 7 meters. If we assume the Kenyan ran an extra 5 meters, as he did have some time in lane 1, his time converts to a 142.72, and he arguably had to run more than 5 meters as he had to swing on the back straight and home straight to keep moving. So as strong as Masalela looks, Wanyonyi is right there with him even now. The Kenyan will be racing another top contender in the 800, Sedjati, in the Stockholm Diamond League, a runner who I'm also really excited to see this season given his lethal kick. And they will have a further rematch in Oslo just a week later. Arop has also been looking strong in his workouts and dominating some big fields in the GST 800s, including Wanyonyi, after having run some tough 15s. The 800 is really continuing the hype from last year for me, and with more new names being added, Rudisha's record is definitely on borrowed time. And finally, we have the women's 3000 meter world record, and honestly, this is the current world record for me. Beatrice Chebet, 10k world record holder, 5k world record holder, and Olympic champion, just ran the second fastest 3k ever in Rabat at an 8:11.56. And it's only May. Add this to the fact the pace lights were set to an 8:15 pace, and that at only age 25, Chebet likely has more fitness to build in the coming years, and it seems this record is on shaky legs. The current record stands at 8:05, admittedly much faster than 8:11, and is held by China's Wanyonyi. Junxia also held the 10k world record for many years and was an Olympic 5k champion in the 96 games. However, she is widely considered to have been doping by many fans, not just because this is a dominant world record set in the 90s where doping regulation was borderline non-existent, but because of this letter that emerged in 2016. The letter alleges that Junxia and 9 others who signed the letter were forced to take PEDs by their coach Ma Junren. Junren had a reputation for being incredibly tough with his athletes. He was nonetheless very successful and coached a a number of runners who were nicknamed as being part of Ma's army. Although this letter was never officially verified from what I could find, Ma has been heavily implied in doping scandals, and the Chinese government declined to comment when the IAAF reached out to see if the letter was genuine. So for many people, the world record has already been broken by Chebet. I know many will argue that Chebet was surely doping as well, but nothing has yet to come out, so let's just enjoy this performance for what it is. If you want to see how Marco Arop won the Grand Slam track Philadelphia Slam, then click on this video here. Alternatively, click on this video that YouTube recommends you watch, and I suggest you follow their advice. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy training.